Hello, everyone, and welcome to Medford Happenings, the show for and about the city of Medford, and I am John Petrella. The purpose of our program is to give Medford citizens facts and information to help you make informed choices. And tonight, we have a special guest. I want to thank him for joining us. We have Mr. Robert Bobby Delafano. I want to welcome you to Medford Happenings, Bobby. Thank you for coming on. Bobby is the current chairperson of the Medford Licensing Commission. Bobby, once again, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. I, uh,
Okay.
I oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go.
No, I just wanted to say, it's great that we can that you invited me on, and we can let the citizens know what the Liquor License Commission does for the city, and give them some information if anybody needs to reach out or wants to come to any of our meetings and stuff. I'm sure we're going to go over that and
Yep.
tell you, the procedure and stuff.
Sounds good, Bobby. And I think it's going to be a great show. So let's get right into it, okay?
Sure.
So first of all, let's start out by having you, share with our audience just a little bit about yourself. Who is Robert Delafano?
All right. Well, Robert Delafano, my friends call me Bobby. Born and raised in Medford on Windsor Road, South Medford. I attended St. Joe's and the Medford Public Schools, graduated Medford Vocational High School in automotive. I've been married to my lovely wife, Cheryl, for 50 years and have two daughters, Marie and Kristen, and one granddaughter, Gianna. I, employment-wise, um, I did some auto mechanic work for a while. I was a truck driver. I was a liquor salesman for Charles Gilman and Son. That used to be right here in Medford. They were a wholesale liquor distributorship, and I used to call on package stores, restaurants, bars, things like that. I did that for about 5 years until I was offered a firefighter position for the city of Medford in 1984. And I had the honor and privilege to serve the citizens of Medford for 36 years until I retired in 2020. My wife Cheryl and I started a small family confectionery business in Medford Square called Sweeties back in 1990. We had that for several years, wound up selling it. It got a little too big to handle for us with my job on the fire department and stuff. I couldn't put the time into it that we needed. But I am still an intermittent federal employee serving on a disaster team since 2004. Um, I've been volunteering time even when I was a firefighter with the city of Medford Board of Health back in the days of Karen Rose when she was the Board of Health director. Used to help out with the flu clinics there, and since COVID, we're doing the flu and COVID clinics now, and I volunteer for the board with the Board of Health there, helping the nurses. We do some they call them homebound vaccinations. Seniors
Yeah.
that can't get out, we go right to the house and vaccinate them.
Yeah.
And for the past several years, I've helped decorate the veterans' graves by placing flags on them at Memorial Day at Oak Grove Cemetery, and I do that with my family members. We've been doing that the past few years,
Yeah.
and that's about uh, that's about
Well,
it for me.
that's about it. That's an awful lot. That's a lot of great stuff. I mean, you care about the city, obviously.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of good things. It's great to hear. Um, so now
I
let's
like.
get back to what you're doing now, which
Okay.
which is the License Commission. And thank you for everything you've done. I mean, that's quite a resume, for the city of Medford, that's for sure.
Well, I
Um,
just figured I'd like to give a little back only because I've gotten so much from the fire department.
yeah, yeah,
It was a
yeah,
great job.
yeah.
Really enjoyed it, and it's all good. And
Nice,
I saw this thing in the local newspaper. They were looking for people to be on boards or commissions.
right,
So I read over it and said, geez, liquor, I didn't know what it meant by license commission. I said, liquor license commission. I used to be a liquor salesman. I know a lot of the Chapter 138 laws and stuff, and
right,
might be a good fit,
yep, good for you.
which
All
it
right,
was.
so now you're the commissioner, we'll call you the commish.
The
Um,
commish, I don't know how that happens.
All right, so we'll sort of start and try and go in some kind of order. So
Okay,
the first question would be, when does the commission meet? And how many members are on the commission?
okay. The commission meets publicly the third Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. at City Hall, and we have an open public meeting there. So, and besides our regular order of business that we have an agenda for every month, the public, the licensees, anybody's welcome to come and attend and ask questions or, just to find out what we do, what we're about. Beside myself, there's Alan Matarana, who's a fellow commissioner, as well as Ben O'Sullivan Pierce. And we also have Daria Tahara, which is our secretary, and she's the glue that holds it all together. I mean, when we're putting together a license or if there's any issues or anything, Daria's the go-to person, and she's the one that can take care of pretty much everything. Um, Between the four of us, we bring a lot of skills to the table.
Yes,
Like I had mentioned, I was in the liquor field there for a while,
right.
even though it was 40 years ago.
No,
But
hey,
it hasn't
experience
changed
is
much.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And Alan, he was a vice president of one of the banks here in the city, and he's recently retired.
Ellen, yep.
And he's been on the commission for a while, as well as Ben O'Sullivan Pierce. And let me just back up to Alan just a bit, where he's had so much, let's say, finance, business, things like that. I'm not sure exactly what he did at the bank, but I know it was something to do with finance. That really helps because we have to look at that when people are applying for licenses. Ben, he's got a construction business. He's a builder. It's great. We have to read blueprints, review anything like that. And Daria is just an administrative wizard. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, everybody's got a place that they all do very well. As a matter of fact, I informed them that I was coming on the show here, and I had asked them if they'd like any input, or for me to mention anything that
Yep,
was on their mind. I told them basically, what I could and couldn't talk about,
right.
and
Yeah.
I do have maybe like a paragraph from each of them if you'd like me to read it.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. From Ben, he said, make sure you tell the folks that we're an ally of the licensees and welcome everyone to come to our meetings and engage with us and let us know if they have any questions. Um, we are pro-business and want to see our community have good establishments to purchase and consume alcohol, but we're raising the bar so that we attract more quality businesses.
It's what we
Um,
want. Yep,
yeah, I thought that
yep,
was
that's
very good.
important. Yep.
Yeah, and Alan's been on for a while. Alan, he said, I would add to the conversation how many liquor licenses are available and how the city encourages businesses to help make Medford a destination. He said, one of the proudest examples, in my opinion, is the Great American Beer Hall ownership. They could have picked any community to build, and they chose Medford. And he says it's a testament to the city's welcoming attitude, willingness to make large projects a success, and plenty of room for others. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, that they felt like that and wanted, some
yeah.
input here. And it's like I say, it's a great commission. Everybody works together and
It's
no
good to hear
problems at
that.
all.
It's good to know, Bobby, and that, the Great Beer Hall, that was a big project.
That was a
I
big
gotta
one.
be honest, I went to I think they called it what, the Italian, the Kiwanis,
Yeah,
yeah, they do a lot for the city. They really are.
yeah, they do. And I don't know if you just noticed, I just read something that they're doing like the indoor farmers market
Yes,
now.
they're gonna do the farmers market in the winter,
Yeah,
so they're adding a lot to the city. They really are.
yeah, it's a
They're doing
huge
a great
place.
job. Yeah, they're, uh, they've done a lot for the community. I love to see that. They really,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
they're good people. We've
Yep.
talked to them about different things, and
Yep.
that has been brought to our attention, and they're right there to take care of it. And yeah, no problems at all there.
It's the
With
kind of business that you want, and it's a great
Yeah,
location, and
yep,
it's good to know they're doing well.
yeah,
Uh,
they
uh,
are.
one of the questions I personally have, right? Because I mean, listen, no. We got liquor stores, you got
Hmm.
breweries, we got restaurants, and the restaurants, all different kinds of restaurants. And then you have, I guess, the VFW, the American Legion, and I know there's a few other clubs in Medford,
Yep.
the Elks, and so on and so forth. Um, can you briefly give us an idea? I mean, are these all, I imagine it's not the same, like a liquor store is a different license. How do you, uh, like, what are all the different licenses that are available?
Well, there are four categories of retail liquor licenses.
Okay,
Um, Category one, it's all alcoholic beverages, which is wine, malt, and distilled spirits.
okay,
Then category number two is wine only. Category number three is malt beverages only. And category number four is wine and malt beverages. And the reason why I brought up the categories um, is because I think what you're looking for are the different license types, different business categories, um, and like you said, restaurants, breweries, and clubs and stuff like that.
right.
And there are, and in the classifications of retail licenses. So, they call it a Section 12 license, which is in Mass General Laws, Chapter 138. And that's an on-premise pouring license. That's what they'll use in hotels, restaurants, clubs, um, you know, uh, all establishments like that that are on premise. You're going to enjoy the alcoholic beverages on the premise.
On the premise, right.
Then there's a Section 14 license, which is a one-day license. And people come to us for this one-day license, but when they're having special events in the city. And the reason why I brought up the categories earlier is because a nonprofit can come to us for a one-day license, and we can grant them a one-day all alcoholic beverage license. If they're not nonprofit, they can only have a wine and malt license.
Okay, when you say wine and malt, people, it's beer, right?
Beer, correct.
Okay.
Yep, beer, hard cider, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Um, and with the one day license, it's good. We ask them to provide insurance. They have to come up with a $250,000 of liability insurance for the event,
Okay, yeah,
and they have to give us a drawing, just a sketch drawing to show us where the alcohol is planning on being served, if it's going to be sectioned off,
right.
And, obviously we don't want people leaving the event, walking the streets with a bottle of beer in their hand or whatever.
Right,
And we'll only grant 30 one-day licenses to the same person per year.
okay,
We cap it as that, so people don't make like a side business out of
right.
it type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Understandable.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Uh,
and the other thing with it too, a licensed establishment that's already licensed in the city cannot have a one-day license on their premise.
oh,
So say, they wanted to pull a one-day license for a wedding or something, it's a special event, they can't do it. They can have it on their premise
right,
privately and do whatever. They don't need a one-day license.
okay,
But the person pulling the license also cannot be in application for a regular license,
makes sense.
if it's pending or whatever.
Yeah,
And then the last one, the last classification is a section 15, which is the package store licenses. And the package store licenses are, in a group of their own. Um, there are none available in the city of Medford. Um, they're the maximum. We only are allowed 12 by the state, and that's what we have.
okay, so a quick question now.
Yep.
So there's 12 of them, they're all gone, so you can't open another liquor store, I take it, right? You can't get the
Unless
license, okay.
unless one of
So,
them closes or sells.
right, so that's what my question was gonna be, so if someone comes in and wants to buy a liquor store, someone's selling the liquor store,
Yep.
they can get that license when they buy that liquor store. Is that how
Uh,
it works, or is there more complicated?
um, it's pretty much how it works.
Yeah,
If somebody wants to buy a license, basically we have a transmittal form, it's called,
okay,
and that kind of edits the license, and that'll allow this person to have the license transferred over to them.
okay,
And the protocol of it's basically the same as a brand new license. We still need the same information. They still need to notify the public with mail. They need to, follow all the rules and stuff about,
yeah,
where they're at. But the only difference is now the license becomes available, so it's a transfer versus a new license because there's no
okay.
new license
Right,
available.
so it's, instead of having 13 licenses, it's still gonna remain 12.
It's going to remain
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
And they still have to fill out everything exactly the same as a brand new license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to apply for a license, Bob,
Yep.
all right?
What would you like? We'll take care of you, John.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I'm just curious. So I just coming into the city, I don't have a business elsewhere. I want to open a restaurant. I want to serve liquor. Do I
Yep.
go to City Hall? Do I go to like, how would I get, we don't need like all the little details, but how do you get the process started? Who would I go
Well, basically, if you wanted to open in the city of Medford, you'd start at City Hall,
to? Okay,
and you'd go to the mayor's office, and they'd refer you to Daria. And
okay,
Daria would probably tell you first thing you want to do is log on to the website for the ABCC, Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, Massachusetts. They have a phenomenal site. They have, it's basically just point and click. Do you want to start a new retail business? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And when you click it, it brings you to the next step. And it kind of walks you through what you need to have in the steps you need to take. So it's going to tell you to download the application form, which is the same throughout the state,
right,
and you're going to fill that out. And if you have any questions, you can contact Aria with questions. And what we recommend is that you may want to, most people will hire an attorney that specializes in Chapter 138 laws, because it's a little tricky to fill this form out by
Complicated.
yourself. Um, and then you have to pay all the fees to the state, the local licensing authority. And when all of that's complete, you'll present this application to the local licensing authority, which is us, for
Right,
approval. And we'll ask you questions, we'll review the whole application, and if we feel as though that you qualify and everything's been filled out correctly, then we'll approve it. And if we approve it, at that point, the next step is we send it to the ABCC,
okay,
and they assign an investigator to it for approval. Once they approve it, then it comes back to us, and we will issue the license upon payment of the licensing fee.
okay.
I mean, you're talking, I mean, a couple of 3 months maybe.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So that's
it's
really
not
not too
something that's
bad.
strict.
Yeah,
There's timelines on all of this.
right, yeah, yeah,
Once you start it, we have so many days to approve it, and then it's so many days for the ABCC to work
yeah,
on it and approve it. And it's a pretty smooth process.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's it in a nutshell.
okay. I mean, that's a lot to do, but I thank you for explaining all that.
Yeah.
You mentioned fees, you mentioned costs, so I'm on a tight budget, all right? I just want you to know that right now.
Well, there's
So
no.
I gotta come. What's my cost gonna be? Never mind anything else, just to get the license and pay the fees, whatever they are.
Yeah, if you wanted to do an application,
Right,
um, you'd come, there'd be a local licensing authority, which
right.
is the city of Medford's
Yeah.
fees. For wine and malt, it's $350.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Oh,
Couple of nights out going to dinner.
yeah, that's all. No big
Um,
deal.
if you wanted to go with an all alcohol, which is like a restaurant or whatever, you'd be $450.
Wow.
And if you wanted a Section 14 one-day license, it would be $60 unless you were nonprofit. Then it's free. We don't charge you.
Yeah.
But now
Right.
keep in mind, these are only application fees.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not the cost of your license.
No, no, no. I know the license. I'm waiting. I know you're saving the good stuff for the end.
The last,
Of
yeah.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
So the city of Medford's local licensing authority yearly fees for entertainment, because we handle the entertainment licenses as well.
Right.
It's $100 per category. And categories are by devices, meaning television, stereos, things like that.
Right.
You can have up to 10 devices for the $100.
Okay.
And then
That's fair.
performers, it
Oh,
is.
that's great. Yeah.
And performers, that's if you want to have performers come in like a band or
Right.
whatever, that's another $100 for that part of the license. And if you want to have patrons, performances by patrons, karaoke, things like that,
Right.
that's another 100. So it's usually they pay 300 for the year, covers them up for all three things.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And then the all alcohol license for a restaurant, you're looking at $2,000 per year. And City of Medford, believe it or not, is
Not
a
bad.
lot less money than some of the
Oh,
surrounding cities and towns. I'm not sure what they are. One point a couple of
wow.
years ago, we kind of looked at other cities and
Yeah.
towns, but malt and wine, if you want to have just malt and wine, 1,500. The Farmer Series pouring, which is the Medford Brewery, that's $1,000
Okay.
because we don't issue them the license. The state issues them the license
Okay.
because they're a Farmer Series brewing company.
Okay.
We issue them the pouring license,
Right.
and that's what the $1,000 is.
Okay.
You mentioned clubs. The clubs are $500 a piece. per
Yeah.
year. And a package store is $1,500 for the year,
And that's every year, so I get the
every year.
license, mine's gonna cost 2,000, which, and then it's 2,000 the following year. That's
Correct.
every year, okay.
Every
Well,
year.
that's not
Yep.
bad at all, I mean, I thought, for some reason, I'm thinking, I go into a restaurant and they serve, alcohol and everything else, I thought they would be paying a lot more than 2 grand, so that's,
No, no,
oh,
that's
that's
all it
not
is.
bad at all.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good. It's we're not trying to kill anybody and stuff, or
No,
I
no,
mean, it's just kind of like, I feel as though everything is fair, and you just,
yeah.
if we can keep it that way, why not?
Yeah, no, that's not bad. And really, geez, I might see if I can get a partner or two, and who knows?
There you go. Sorry, I
Ah,
can't help you out with that one.
it's a tough, yeah, that's a tough industry, a lot of work and doing that.
It is. It
It is,
is.
it's tough, the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, we got some great restaurants in Medford. We really do. We're very lucky in this city,
Yeah.
We brought
Yeah.
in some very nice restaurants.
Yeah. No, they've been good. I've only been on a little over a couple of years, but
Yeah,
we've seen a few come in. I've seen a few come in,
yeah,
but the guys before me have really, and Jim Flynn, he was the chair commissioner for many
right,
years
yeah,
beforehand. Jim did a great job. And he got to the age that he wanted to retire and spend time with the grandkids and
right.
stuff. And
But yeah,
yeah, he's a good guy.
yeah, so you guys are doing a good job. That's all I can say. And it all sounds good. Very, those prices are more than reasonable. So, you had mentioned earlier about the licenses, what's available and everything else, and that was great. And, I just wanted to ask one more thing.
Yeah.
I guess John Petrella comes into Medford. Okay, I open a restaurant, do everything, get the license. And then I love Medford so much that I open another restaurant. Okay, and then that restaurant, because I'm a great cook, Bobby. Okay.
I can imagine. I bet
Oh,
you are.
phenomenal cook. So that restaurant, naturally takes off. How many, am I limited to how many restaurants I can open in Medford? Is there a limit? In other words, um, 3, 4, or I can,
Well, for all alcohol on premise,
right,
we currently have 28 licenses available. And
okay.
John Petrella can open 28 restaurants if he
No
wants.
kidding.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
no limit for
Yeah,
Section 12 licenses, which are
I
on
never knew
premise.
that. That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
So you
we've
can
got
cook-
four malt and wines available too, and no package stores.
Geez, that ain't bad
But
at all. I'm
yeah,
surprised there's that many available. I guess that's a good thing.
yeah, the way the state sets that up, that they give you so many
Right.
per thousand people.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yeah.
based on population?
Yes,
That makes
and
sense.
and it's the same with the package stores. We're
Yeah,
we're of close to being eligible for one more package store, but I don't know
okay,
if it's going to happen in the
yeah,
near future because they only reevaluate that every 5 years when the federal census comes out.
okay, yeah,
So that might be a little while, and it's going to be close.
yeah.
But yeah, you can. But if it was package stores, that's a different story.
Right, yeah,
Package store, you could open up to 9 in the state. And if you lived in a town, you could only have one in the town. If you live
okay,
in a city, you can have up to 2 in a city.
okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
never
is.
knew. I mean, I've been in my share of bars, as you know, and restaurants, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to know that. Most people wouldn't have any clue about all that.
Well, back in the day when I was in the liquor business 40 years ago, they capped it off at 3 for
Okay,
package stores.
so they
Um,
did, yeah, yeah,
yeah, in the big the big stores like your Atlas and your
Atlas
Cappies
and,
and all of that back
yeah,
then, they,
yeah.
they used to find ways around it
Oh, I'm
legal,
sure. Yes,
legally,
yeah, no, I know, yeah.
and that's the way it was. But then the state moved it up from 3 to 5, then 5 to 7, and then they just went up from 7 to 9 not too long ago.
Wow, there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta get into the, the stuff, the real good stuff now. All right, here's the tough questions, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to name names. You don't have to say
I
who's
can't.
what. I know you can't. I don't, we figured that. But, I guess the question is, uh, I open a business, everything's fine. What types of violations would I run into trouble with? Is there anything that could cause a non-renewal? I mean, it's kind of a tough question, but I'm just curious if, and I don't know if it ever happens, but are there reasons where they'd have to come before you guys and explain what happened or what's going on or,
Yeah, there is, and there's a process for that. We hold hearings.
right?
Basically, if something comes to our attention, either through the police or we have 3 officers assigned to our commission,
Oh, okay,
and they do the investigating and the you know, things that are associated with on or off premises
okay,
account your licenses. They say John Petrella buys a restaurant, it's doing great, blah blah blah, and he's doing so good, he starts doing stuff he's not supposed to do, and
okay.
he's buying Ferraris and Maseratis and everything else, and he can't afford them, so he starts selling drugs.
Yeah, okay.
And
You're going
he
back to the
sells,
old days. Yeah, yeah,
so you got, if you cannot have an on-premise Section 12 license if you've been convicted of a drug crime.
okay. That makes sense. Yeah,
So if you do that and your license comes up in renewal, and you can't renew it,
okay.
that'll cause you not to renew it.
Yeah,
One of the other things that would cause you not to be able to renew your license is the state, not the local licensing authority,
right,
but the state is very strict on renewals. They start November 1st. All the paperwork has to be into the local licensing authority by the last day in November with the fees.
right.
And if it's not completed by then, December 1st, you're required to apply for a whole new license. You will
Wow.
not be issued a license
Yeah,
for
and
the
that's
following.
pretty strict, right? I mean,
Very
yeah,
strict,
yeah, that's what I,
very strict. And they're warned, we send out 2 or 3, Daria sends out 2 or 3 emails to all the licensees explaining this. Also telling them what forms they need. They have to show
right,
us their insurance. They have to show us that the building department and fire department have inspected them. They have to show us now, the past year, we want to see their common victualer's license because that's how we can set their
right.
hours for serving
Yeah,
alcohol.
yeah, yeah,
Because as you know, food, if there's no food, they can't drink.
right,
So we can
yeah,
only put the hours on that they're serving food
okay.
instead of the max hours that the state requires. If
That
they
makes,
want to,
yeah,
go a little longer, then they got to go before the city council and extend the hour, get permission to extend the common victualers, then it's up to us to grant the
okay,
liquor license.
yeah,
But that's for that. In violations, as you mentioned, of license rules, it's basically any violations of the city of Medford license rules and regulations
okay,
and Mass General Law, Chapter 138. Some of the most common ones are selling or serving alcohol to person under 21 years of
yeah, I figured that was gonna be the, yeah,
the other is over serving or selling alcohol to an intoxicated person. So if someone's in your bar and they're staggering up to the bar and slurring their words and want another drink and your bartender serves them,
So that's a no-no.
That's a violation.
Okay.
Same thing. An intoxicated person walks into a package store and wants to buy, a half pint or whatever, and they sell them. That's considered over serving as well. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
things like that, and I'll tell you, one thing is the city of Medford, we do compliance checks on all licensees at random times throughout the year.
Oh,
They never
okay.
they never know
All
when we're
right.
coming in and when we're testing them. Um, I don't even know. We get it from the police. They're
Okay.
the ones
So
that,
am I I don't want to put words in your mouth, but so they'll get an 18-year-old to go in and buy at a package store or try and get a drink in a bar, restaurant, whatever? Is that what you're saying, or
yeah,
something like that?
yep, yep,
So
they
they
do
do
that,
like a check,
and
okay.
they have quite a it's down pretty pat.
Yeah,
As
okay,
far as telling the kids what to do, making the kids even take a breathalyzer before they go out and do these compliance checks.
yeah,
They'll give them cash money with
right,
the serial numbers recorded on the bills. I mean, they really
right,
really do it upright, and they have it set up in a way that the kids cannot get hurt, and the kids cannot lie.
right,
So if
yeah,
they
makes,
go into a place and order a beer and the waitress says, "You have an ID?" I said, "No, I'm sorry, I don't." And if they say, "Well, how old are you?" and the kid's 18, they got to say they're 18. And hopefully this restaurant will say, "Sorry, we can't serve you."
answer
And
that,
kids just get up and leave.
right,
Um, and it's good. And this here is not to punish anybody or
right,
anything. This is we ABCC and us call it education, because it's educating the licensees on what their limitations are, what they can do, and what they can't do. And as part of this whole education thing, we even started having the ABCC come in once a year for a we require all of our licensees mandatory to come to that meeting. It lasts about an hour and a half. And the
that's a good
ABC,
thing,
it tells them all the new stuff for the year, goes
yeah,
over all the important things
yeah,
that they bring in the state, unemployment. I mean, they really do a great
good,
job.
that
And
sounds
it,
good, yeah.
and everybody gets something out of it. They enjoy
Yeah,
it, the licensees,
the way it should be, yeah.
yeah, it's really great. And there's no excuse not to know
Right.
what's
Yeah.
right and wrong.
I think everyone's learning something tonight because there's a lot of stuff that I had no idea. I really didn't. I mean, this
And
is
most
all
people don't unless you're involved in it.
right. Yeah, but it's good to know. I mean, it
Yeah,
really is. I had no idea how many licenses were available and all the things that go on with it. So,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
no,
hope they're paying you a lot of money, the city. That's all I can
well,
say.
it's public information. I get $1,500 a year,
What?
and and we work 10 months out of the year. We have
Right.
July and August off,
Yeah.
but this is the first year we ever got August off.
Yeah.
The all the years that the other guys have been on and I've been on, something always comes up, and we'll always
Right.
just go and have the meeting. That's not a big deal.
So you
Um,
really are doing a big service to the city. I mean, this is
it's
important stuff. We joke around and everything else, but it is. It's an
yeah,
important job.
it is because
Yeah,
it can cost somebody their life.
that's right. So yeah,
You let
exactly.
somebody go out and drive when they're
Right.
hammered walking out of your establishment and kill somebody. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
then it becomes a real problem.
Right. It's
And there's also I forget what it's called, but there's something through the state that when a drunk driver is stopped and the police arrest them or do whatever, they can't pass the breathalyzer.
right.
There's a report that comes out from the state every year because they ask that person, "Where are you coming from?"
Oh, okay.
And since I've been on as commissioner, which has been a little over 2 years, um, we haven't had one come from Medford.
Nice. That's
And
great.
it's not because of me.
No,
This
no,
has been
no.
going
But
on
yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time. you
Well,
know?
give yourself a little credit, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, no, it's the licensees in the
I
city
know,
are doing the right thing,
yeah.
and it's good. They care.
It's a whole process. You're giving license to the right people, good people,
Yeah,
and on and on, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Very, very interesting stuff. So, I'm gonna ask you one last question, okay?
Sure.
I opened that third restaurant. Things aren't going so good in that third restaurant, okay?
Yeah.
I have the license, so I'm gonna sell it. And this is, I don't know if this makes any sense, but am I able to sell that license with the business, or you guys get I'm just curious.
You can sell the license with the business, but nobody's going to give you any money for it.
Okay, that's
As long as there are licenses available.
available, right? Yeah.
So what'll happen is if you don't like that third business, you can transfer the license in the sale of the business.
Okay,
So you can sell the business for whatever you think the business is worth,
right.
but
Yeah,
you're not going to get any money for the license.
right. So on the same, now let me ask you this question, and I don't even know if you can answer it, but say it's not Medford, say it's in a city, say it's Boston and there's no more licenses left.
Correct.
And I'm just asking you this because years ago, I know a few people that own bars in Boston. And those liquor licenses were worth a lot of money
Yep.
because that was it, the limit, it was tough to get one.
Yep.
So if, in a city, let's just say Boston, there's no more licenses available, so I mean, is it legal for them to sell it, is what I'm saying, that's what I'm asking.
I believe it is.
Okay,
And the only reason being is a friend of mine, and I'm obviously not going to mention his name or the
no,
business name,
no,
had a restaurant in Somerville and there were no licenses
right,
available at the
that's
time.
a perfect example, yeah.
Yep. And his business wasn't doing too well, but he was able to sell the business, but he got a lot more money for it because of the
The
license.
license, okay.
And he had I asked him, how do you go about doing it? I wasn't on the commission then.
Right,
And he said that basically the people that are going to be buying his business have to apply for the license and they have to be approved by the local licensing authority and
right,
the ABCC.
okay,
And once that's all approved, then they could go through with the sale and the transfer of the license. He didn't have any problem getting the money for it, and the state didn't bother anybody, or the city didn't
right,
bother
no,
anybody.
yeah, I would imagine, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just thinking if there's none available, it's gotta be worth
yeah,
something, yeah.
and even well, I I know of one instance that an entity came into the city of Medford that needed a liquor Section 15 package
Right,
store license,
yeah,
and there were none available, and they were able to purchase one from an existing store.
okay, well,
And
that makes
they,
sense,
yeah,
yeah,
and I mean, that store person was probably ready to sell or get out or whatever, and
right,
and they
yeah,
sold them the license basically. So yeah, it can be done. But if there are any licenses available, they're going to say, well, I'm not paying you for a license. I can get
right,
one for
no,
free.
no, yeah, right, yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah.
but
Supply and demand.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hey, listen, I had a great time. This like really,
It
uh,
was good.
it
I enjoyed
was
it.
because I learned a lot. I mean, and I think our audience, I'm so happy we asked you to come on. I'm thrilled that you came on
Thank you.
because these are the type of shows we like to do, Bobby. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
people. I mean, you do a lot for the city and, it's just been a fun show for us to do. And I'm gonna tell you, the audience learns a lot, really. Yeah. All right, Bob, thanks a lot. We'll
Thank you,
talk to
John.
you soon. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
inviting me.
All right, thanks,
Bye bye.
Bob. I want to thank everyone who has been watching the show. Thank you for your feedback. It's nice to get the feedback, it really is. And the other thing is, if you want to share a comment, you're opening a new business, you have an existing business, you want to promote something, you represent an organization, you have upcoming events, you'd like to appear on a future show, please do contact us. Okay, and you can reach us at Method Happenings 02155@gmail.com. And I just want to say, we do have a lot of people that have been contacting us that do want to come on the show. So we're looking forward to, get back into a weekly thing here. We'll be doing hopefully one show a week. It wasn't too long ago, we were squeezing 2 and 3 shows a week, remember? Yeah, we were doing that, and it worked out, but we're gonna try and get back to 1 a week. So I just want to remind everyone, you be able to watch replays of this program on Method Community Media, the Access channel. They usually do it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 or 7 p.m. And please, thank you for coming to our website. That's all I can say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can go to methodhappenings.com. That's our website. And you can now either view or you can even just listen to a podcast of this program, which I think is wonderful. You can also find us on YouTube. We're still there. And on Facebook at Method Happenings. So for the Method Happenings team, for Paul, Marco, and Bruce, I'm John Petrella, and remember, stay informed, Medford. Thank you all. Have a great night.